Question of the day. What is your favorite building game? I don't mean engine building where you're like, I get to do this. I mean literally building. Is it New York 1901 or whatever that is? Is it any of the train games in which you're building a network? What is your favorite building game? Maybe you're building an actual building. Let me know in the comments below, because we're talking about a building game today that was really, I was excited about it. It kind of hit right at the beginning of the year, and it has a really cool theme, right? We talked about this was on our 5 golden games list. So you know ahead of time, I'm already going to give this a positive review, but I really wanted to dive in, show you the mechanics and all the things about it, because we've been playing Concordia for the first time recently. And there's a reason why I bring that up. So this is Red Cathedral. I'm not going to gild the lily any further. We're not going to take too much longer. Let's dive in to see how this game plays. We'll come back up, talk final thoughts right now. So this is Red Cathedral right here. So here's the main board set up. Essentially, there are resources. I'm going to show them to you here because no, I do not need them to take them out of the bag for you to see them. But you've got brick, you've got gold, you've got wood, you've got stone, and you've got 2 types of gems. You've got green gems and purple gems, which are in fact really awesome looking little gems. You also have a player board, and there's money too. But on this board, let's talk about this first, because one of the main 3 things you can do is this board. Now you can do kind of a Mancala Trajan sort of thing, where if I want to move this dice, let's go 1, 2, because it's a 2, I would then take whatever's here. This would be 2 wood per dice here. They can hold 3 dice, so I would actually get 4 wood for this. I would then roll any dice used in that. So now this is a 5, so if someone would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they would get 2 coins. Then you would roll this. Also, while you're in those spaces, you can choose to use the union that is there. They are different craft unions, guild unions. Some of them are instant. You can do it 1 time. Some of them are as many times as you want. Different things like convert a coin to, or spend a coin to send a good, or just get a good for free. These are ors. They're not and. They're either ors. So you got to keep that in mind. What you're trying to essentially do is build a cathedral. So those are important when it comes to what you need, because these cathedrals are several different types like this. Based on the player count, so in a 2-player game, you would build a cathedral that looks a little bit like this. So this cathedral looks like this now. You have these spaces out here that you're going to be building on. You are going to take your little tokens here and claim these. Now you have a player board out here that starts with 2 that you can claim. These 4 will remain here and block the resources, much like Concordia. If these spaces are blocked, you can only hold 6 resources, but each one that moves, you get to hold 1 more resource. This is a hard limit. Also, you can buy certain tokens. There will be tokens that are sitting on these that will give you benefits. So as you reserve them, you will take these types of tokens. Now, every one of these will have one. If you choose to, when you place a token out there, you can spend the coin value listed, and we'll just put a couple of them out here. You can spend the coin value listed here to cover that up. So now this workshop gives you this. You say, what does the green die and the yellow die do now? Well, what this means is when you use the green die, like we talked about a minute ago, you also get to take the benefit of where the yellow die is. And there are several of these. When you use this, you get this. Basically, that's what that does. You're going to be claiming these. You don't build it when you claim it, and then you send goods, that's what this means, to these buildings. So this would take 2 bricks and a purple stone. When you do that, you flip it over. You would gain any money listed on the top left and gain any points listed on the top right. So this is 2 bricks, 1 stone, and 1 gold. Now you notice there are 4 goods for this one to flip. You can only send 3 at a time, which means once you've claimed it, you can send them and they can sit there until it's ready. Once it flips over to this side here. You then would have your marker on here still. Plus, you have an opportunity, if you want to decorate, you can put a door on the bottom spaces, you can put a window on the middle spaces here, and then you can put a cross at the top. They cost different things. For instance, if you wanted to do an ornate one, it would be just that to claim it. These will go to the end scoring. If you want to add a green or a purple gem to it, it's worth 1 gold eagle. That's the big points, not the little ones. And if you want to put both, you get 3 gold eagles. Now I want to show you really quick, when you do the eagles, you're talking about a large amount of points here. We're moving all the way from one space on this eagle track to the next. So that's, here it's not as much, but over here in the beginning of the game, 1 to 2 is a 5-point jump. That's a large jump. So just know that the point of the game is to be claiming these spaces and building. When you build, there is a certain penalty if you complete your top one before someone completes the ones under you. But eventually you're going to have this all turned over and built. When the end game is triggered, you're going to score points based on the columns. The columns are going to be worth a set amount of points based on the completed things there, as well as the wooden tokens, as well as the ornate things. The person with the most wooden tokens or things in that space wins that column and gets those points. The person who comes in second gets half of that, and the person who comes in third gets half of that in a larger count game. That is essentially how you play Red Cathedral, though. You're going to be continuing to take those actions to build this, to turn them over, to send these up here. Fantastic game. Love it, love it, love it. You will too. So that's Red Cathedral. It is a very simple, in a sense, game. Like, you're not doing a, well, if I do this and this. It's not. You're moving the dice around potentially, or you're building onto the cathedral. I love that simplicity, that you know what you're going to do. I also love that you're forced to think 3 turns ahead. You cannot just think 1 turn at a time. Well, what do I need this turn? No. It's what can I do this turn to set up the next turn that will set up the next turn. I love when games do that. I love when games force you to kind of build a strategy as opposed to just doing tactics. And to me, that's what Red Cathedral is all about. I love the simple rondel with dice. I think that's fantastic. It reminds me of Trajan with the fact that you're using the dice to move around. Well, this one's 2, that one's 1. Well, dadgummit, they lead me to the same place. That one's a 3. Well, this one's a 5, and if I use it, I'll land here with double. I think that's so cool. I love that if you move the dice and land somewhere that has multiple dice there already, you get to double the benefit. I love that the building plan changes every time. I think the scoring is great, that each column is a majority, but it's not just a column, it's a part of the cathedral. I think that's so cool. Like, it just looks good. I love the fact that you can do the little ornaments and decorations to put them onto the cathedral. Everything is thought out. This had the potential to be a dry, quote unquote, Euro. I don't buy into that, by the way. That's the same people who, I equate people who say Ameritrash and dry Euros. Get out of here. All of you, just get out, scram, okay? I don't buy that. This to me is such a great Euro experience because all of the things make sense that you're doing. Every benefit you get makes sense. Every action you take makes sense. It all just works and it makes sense. And planning ahead to go, okay, I can get this gemstone from that action and I can go ahead and send one now if I use this guild person or this unionist. I can go ahead and send this stuff and get ready. Oh, but you know what? I'll have a purple, a green, and a gold ready. I can throw the cross up there, right? And thinking that through is so good. I like the double scoring methods too. I like the big scoring and the little scoring thing that, you move up to the next eagle versus move up to the next points. I think that's cool. I also really enjoy the mechanic where it's very similar to Concordia. In fact, we played these games back to back, Concordia and Red Cathedral, in which you only can hold 10 goods. And it's not 10 goods. Oh, if you get some more, you can trade them out, or whatever the number is. I may be wrong on 10, but either way, you can only hold this many goods, and it's a hard limit. There's no, oh, if you get more, you can take out some. You have to think ahead, and you go, okay, well, I can't get more. It's going to be a waste if I get them, so let me spend this turn to get more next turn. I love it. Red Cathedral is a massive win for this. This was a huge win for us. I love it. You need to go get, if you're a Euro fan, go get this. If you're just a fan of building stuff, definitely get this. It's a total win for me. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Dice Tower Brian. Until next time, we'll see you.